Welcome to Harrison Maintenance 101. Today's topic, setting the voltage on your Harrison hydraulic generator. You'll need to occasionally adjust the voltage over the life of your generator. Before you can troubleshoot the voltage, you need to ensure the frequency is correct. Voltage follows frequency. So if frequency is high or is low, it must be addressed before we can use the voltage readings. You will need to stop and address any frequency issues first before addressing the voltage. The voltage readings will not be correct unless the frequency is in the acceptable range. Once frequency is within the acceptable range, now you can check the voltage. The voltage should be 232 to 248 volts. It will vary with the frequency. If your voltage is out of this range, several things can be done to change it. There are three ways that you can affect the voltage. Number one, you can change the voltage by adjusting the frequency. Since voltage follows frequency, adjusting the frequency adjusts voltage up or down the same direction as the frequency. If by changing the frequency up or down, the voltage still is out of range, we go to option number 2 or number 3. On 2-pole alternators, the voltage is controlled by capacitors. Swapping the capacitors out can raise or lower the voltage. On 4-pole generators, the voltage is controlled by an electronic voltage regulator that can be manually adjusted. Method number 1, adjusting the frequency of the generator. The frequency can be adjusted at the hydraulic pump. We have a separate in-depth video showing how to do that. By changing the frequency up or down, the voltage will change up or down with the frequency. If you adjust the frequency to the maximum or minimum values and the voltage is still off, reset the frequency to 61.5 Hertz and use one of the other two methods to adjust voltage. Method number 2, adjusting the voltage by changing the capacitors. 3.6 kW through 10 kW generally use capacitors for voltage regulation. By changing the values of the capacitors, you can raise or lower the voltage. The capacitors will be in the electrical box on top of the generator. Remove the cover of the electrical box. Ensure that the generator is not running. There may be 1 or 2 capacitors. 6 kW and smaller use 1 capacitor. 8 kW and larger use 2 capacitors. Before doing any service, take pictures of the electrical box. Carefully remove the capacitors and look at the value. If you want to increase the voltage, you will need a higher value. If you want to decrease voltage, you will need a lower value. There are 3 values for capacitors: 31.5, 35, and 40. The larger the number, the higher the voltage. The material, color, or physical dimensions do not matter. Only the value matters. Document the number that is already in the generator. Contact Harrison for a different value capacitor. We will need to know what number capacitor is currently installed. When you get your new capacitors, carefully install them and tie them in place. Make sure to reattach the 1/4-inch blade terminals. Make sure frequency is still correct and then check the voltage. It should be between 232 to 248. Method number 3, adjust the voltage by turning the pot on the electronic voltage regulator. 15 kW through 40 kW generators use electronic voltage regulation. Changing frequency will not have an impact on the voltage. The electronic voltage regulator will be in the electrical box on top of the generator. Remove the cover of the electrical box. Ensure that the generator is not running. Turn the volt pot clockwise to raise voltage and counterclockwise to lower voltage. Adjust the volt pot to your goal voltage. It should be between 232 to 248. For more information or further assistance with troubleshooting your generator, please contact us by phone or email. Harrison, clean, reliable, mobile power since 1969.